Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We'll be getting to the JRC here in a moment, but first, the disclaimers and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links are going to be there in the description box for you. We have, as always, Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject where we get the bulk of material in regards to the JRC for this channel. We have the article written by Neuroclastic where they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program, the very same one they threatened, JRC threatened anyways, to sue Neuroclastic over, threatening a defamation lawsuit. Neuroclastic refused. Guys, this is the JRC here, their unlimited funding and shady way they seem to have to get out of every single little bit of legal trouble that it continues to boggle the mind here. So please read the article, share it on all your social media. We do have Neuroclastic's GoFundMe linked in there as well, just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. If you can give, I know they would appreciate it. If you can't, please share it. They'll definitely appreciate that as well. Trigger warnings. When we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please utilize headphones. Also, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity and we speak on dark subjects. If your child's 16 and younger and watching this, parental supervision is very much advised. Other trigger warning. When it comes to politics, I defend my own. Yes, including against MAGA, the extreme left. I don't care where the ableism is coming from. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? No ableist flames will be accepted. You will be banned from the channel. I don't want to see Republican versus Democrat debates in the comments whatsoever. Because if you want to know my real point of view, it's that you're just saying the same side, pretending to be the opposite side, so that they can have you neurotypicals knee-jerk react and be at each other's throats while they do whatever the hell they want behind closed doors. So, please, folks, it's been a week. Obviously, it has been a hell of a week. So, let's just not, if you're new to the channel, alright? Those who have been with me for a minute already knew that. I've never been shy about my opinion. The trick is getting me to shut up. So, before we get any further down left field, we're going to go over the last sentence here in the paragraph in regards to JW. We're going to be doing more videos today too, but we're skipping past the Parents Association because quite frankly, I've already read over their nonsense 10 different times over the last 3 years. And folks, it's old. I don't deal well with Kool-Aid drinkers that refuse to listen to reason and to view evidence, because every time you do, they're going to tell you, well, that's being funded by this person and is very obviously corrupt. So, yeah, sparing myself the headache. Alright, here we go. JW participates in activities like swimming, horseback riding, and participates in field trips. He can now safely fly to Virginia regularly to spend time with his family, accompanied by a JRC staff member. Previously, visits to his family in Virginia required a chartered flight to minimize the danger JW posed to other passengers. Question, JRC. If he's no longer a danger, if your program was just so successful and he's shown such remarkable progress, explain to me like I'm 5 why he has to be accompanied by a JRC staff member to see his family. Seriously. I mean, you claim the GED is a miraculous device, right? Providing these positive changes, and look at all they can do now. Okay. Where's the proof of that? No, seriously, where is it? Do you have any empirical data showing that not only do the changes take place, but the changes remain long after you quote-unquote fade them off the device? So why is he having a staff member accompany him to go see his family if he's doing so well with your program? Any thoughts, JRC? Anything you'd like to volunteer for us at all? Yeah, I thought not. See, the GED has a similar response to when somebody punches you in the face. Of course, it's going to stop whatever you're engaging in at the time due to the shock of having someone inflict pain on you out of nowhere. It's generally how that works. What it can't do is address the triggers that are producing the behavior in the first place. Okay? Look no further than Gen X, one of the last more corporal punished type of generation, if you don't believe me. We got belts, folks. Okay? We got belts. When we did stupid, reckless, life-threatening shit. Ever watch some of those old family VHS tapes from those of us in that generation? If you haven't, you really should. It's an education on just how worthless corporal punishment actually is. Because you only maintain, quote-unquote, better behavior just long enough so that the people who are punishing you let down their guard. And then you know what? That teenage rage, and angst, and stubbornness kicks in. And you will deliberately do something even more life-threatening and more reckless as an act of teenage rebellion. So yes, corporal punishment stopped reckless behavior for all of, so to speak, 5 minutes. It's when they stop watching you. It's when that rebellion kicks in. Okay? Yeah. You cannot treat behavioral issues with corporal punishment, and JRC, please don't start with me. It's corporal punishment. If you are inflicting knowingly physical pain upon a human being, consequencing them, as it were, due to behaviors they do not have control over And in fact, we know from your own words sometimes will deliberately trigger. It's corporal punishment. It doesn't become treatment because Dr. Israel says so. Okay? Any of us that were a part of that generation can look at this and see and know exactly what it is. Slapping medical sounding titles onto it is not going to change what it essentially is. So please, for the love of God, spare me. Spare me. I've been doing this 20 years, JRC. Can we stop with the repetitive nonsense, the insistence on using scientific sounding type of words to describe corporal punishment? It's what it is. Okay? It's what it is. Your device cannot create lifelong positive behavioral challenges. The reason why it is it is literally only dealing with the result of something that was triggered. Okay? Think about that for a minute. You are punishing a neurodivergent for reacting like a neurodivergent. That's all it is. Okay? That's all it is. What does it solve? What did it solve for Gen X other than to make us more reckless? And in fact, going to school with casts and broken bones were kind of looked at as cool, believe it or not. Okay? It should teach you something. This is why we try to get you to learn from the past. Any treatment program that simply delves into the punishment side of things in order to teach us something is wrong is missing the entire goddamn point. Let me be blunt. We are well aware of what's right and wrong. In fact, it has been noted that in regards to what we consider right and wrong, people like myself are incredibly, absolutely rigid and unmovable in regards to following what we consider to be the rules. Believe me, that was very much me, okay? Yeah. We don't even try to bend them. At least until you get older. You're punishing someone for a symptom that's manifesting where you can see it. Instead of trying to help that person figure out what those triggers are and addressing them directly so that once that is done, the behavior becomes less and less and less naturally. It's not a quick fix. It's certainly gonna not make a sudden stop in behavior, quite like inflicting physical pain on someone would. But the effects are far longer lasting. And the progress tends to stay with the consumer as they go along and evolve with their treatment program. But people don't like that. We have a world that has literally conditioned people for instant gratification. I understand panic, despair, and desperation in a way a lot of people can't even wrap their brains around. I am not cold-hearted. But simple solutions almost always are never the answer, especially when it comes to things like developmental disability treatment programs and mental health. There's a reason why no one size fits all, okay? And there's a reason why once these kids get off the GED and they're either sent to other places or are sent home, those behaviors end up coming back. New behaviors will start manifesting that they never had previously. And the ones that they do have increase in intensity and frequency. It's because the underlying cause was never dealt with, and now we have post-traumatic stress disorder on top of everything else they were already dealing with. Okay? The so-called positive changes are not changes at all. If they really were lifelong positive changes, then JRC would not continue to insist to have people come back to their hellhole so that they can shove the device on them again. If anything, this proves the point that all of us, literally all of us, have been making, some of us all the way back to 1976, when the JRC was the BRI. Okay? And number 2, again, but they're going out and socializing and they never did those things before. Has it never crossed some of you neurotypicals in this field's mind that the reason that maybe we didn't want to participate in the so-called social gatherings was perhaps because we didn't want to? It wasn't an activity that we are interested in? That more often than not, we don't even get a word in edgewise in regards to what said activity is going to be even? No? Let me break it down for you. Most of us neurodivergents are targeted from the very first day we are inside our kindergarten classroom. Okay? We are mercilessly bullied. Mercilessly bullied. It kind of stands that way until all of us little misfits who've been kind of set to the side begin to form our own friend groups with one another. Safety in numbers, right? Yeah. The reason why we usually aren't looking forward to these social activities and field trips with the other students is those other students, to be point blank, are fucking assholes. Assholes. You know the whole saying, kids can be cruel? Why would I want to willingly socialize, go out on field trips, mask, non-stop, for multiple hours? I can do that now, but folks, when you are a kid, masking for several hours on end while participating in social activities you have zero interest in, while trying to keep your mask on tight enough that it doesn't slip even when the bullying begins. Sure, sign me up, right? No, there's a reason why a lot of kids like me decided that the best thing to do would be avoid the people who spend the rest of school time tormenting me. And I'm going to retreat on this hill where nobody else is. I'm going to pull out my book and I'm going to actually enjoy myself my way. Because most sane people do not wish to socially engage and share niceties with folks who have bullied us relentlessly and play nice. Okay? There's also activities, especially physical activities. But why don't you participate? We can help you. Because I didn't want to participate. Karen, sometimes you can suggest a neurotypical activity that somebody like me is going to hate with the entirety of their soul. Okay? Stop trying to push us off on so-called normal, neurotypical kid age stuff that they're interested in. Just stop. It's annoying. At the very least. Maybe start including some of our input when you're planning activities. Like, instead of just going off and be like, well, why aren't you having fun? Everyone else is. You have no idea how much I hated that in school, folks. No idea. Especially with my smart mouth. It took a lot of energy to keep my mouth shut. That's for damn sure. Okay? Maybe ask us. What is your suggestion? What would you like to do for a field trip? Because I wanted to go to the museum and stare at dinosaur bones. Or go down to fantastic caverns, would it be wide through a cave that we have out towards Battlefield? Or Silver Dollar City? When am I not shilling for Silver Dollar City? Probably when I die. You get my point, right? Quit trying to push neurodivergent kids into neurotypical kids' activities and then getting mad at us when we don't want to participate. Sometimes we're really just not interested. And yeah, I also want to address, usually they had to have a charter flight to minimize the danger JW posed to other passengers. Well, JRC, you do have a history of victim blaming your students. So that particular sentence there doesn't surprise me. Nor does the fact that you continue to insist that the punishment model is the only thing that works. What you have yet to demonstrate from 1976 to now, 2025, that at any point in time you've done anything to try and figure out what is actually triggering the behaviors. Okay? We're going to close on that for this one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one, and I'll be seeing you again here in a few seconds. Bye-bye, everyone.